Hi, I'm David Ireland, the Wildlife Man. I'm on an outback property in New South Wales that has a big problem with feral animals like goats. So I'm going to talk about the problems that feral goats cause in the wilderness and also on outback properties. We're also going to do some culling of feral goats, and I'll show you how to do ethical, humane culling of these feral pests. I'm here with a very dear friend of mine. Hugh is an experienced bushman, but also a qualified arborist. Hugh, we've got a big problem with these ancient grass trees and the goats. What are the billy goats doing to these beautiful old trees?
They're knocking them over, Dave.
So they're actually pushing them over?
Pushing them over. They rub their horns and then push into the trunk.
Tell me a little bit about this skirt. Now, you were saying before that even the nannies and the kids use these trees for shelter. What's happening to the skirt? What are the goats doing to it?
By rubbing into the skirt, they're actually moving the skirt away from the trunk.
Yeah, so you get a bare trunk.
So we get a bare trunk.
And then what happens? What are the goats doing to the bare trunk?
Well, the trunk's exposed and then the goats keep on pushing onto the trunk and they can push them over.
So the skirt's been removed, ring barked, it dies,
Yep.
and then boom.
It's collapsed.
Are there hundreds of goats in these mountains?
Thousands, Dave.
Thousands of goats.
Thousands of goats.
David Jenkins is a qualified vet, and he explains how parasites are carried by feral animals.
The larva digs out through the gut with little hooks, gets into the bloodstream, and then goes around to the internal organs. Now, in wallabies and kangaroos, it's almost exclusively the lungs. In pigs, it's liver and lungs. In humans, it's most commonly the liver.
The liver, yeah. Is it possible for the eggs to be transmitted to humans by flies?
Absolutely. The eggs are in the environment. Once they're in the environment, if it's not too hot and dry, they'll stay infected for at least a year.
Oh, really?
And
that
then,
long?
Yeah. And flies can land on dingo,
feces,
on feces, yes. They ingest it up. You get what are called coprophagous flies. These are flies that like to eat feces.
Yeah.
They ingest the feces and the eggs go in too, and they can have several hundred eggs inside them. Then they fly away to somewhere else. They poo the eggs out onto grass
or your
sandwich. Yeah. And these eggs have been shown to be perfectly infective to sheep. Well, to sheep certainly, but they'd be infected to wallabies too.
And of course humans.
Oh yeah, certainly.
The big problem with these goats is the nanny. They can breed when they're only 6 months old, and they'll have 2 or even 3 kids at a time. They can literally double the population of the mob in 1 year. You can see here where pigs have come and wallowed in this tank. The big problem with feral animals is they're not managed. So there's no vaccination. So feral animals like pigs and goats can carry exotic diseases that can spread to livestock, native animals and even humans. Horrific diseases like leptospirosis and hydatids, which can even cause cysts in the brain of humans and be fatal. So that is a major problem with feral animals. Not just competing for the water source, but also spreading exotic diseases. You know, Australia has one of the worst records of any country in the world for native animal extinction, and that really concerns me. If you think about native endemic animals here that took so many thousands of years to evolve, many of them are specialist feeders. When you introduce feral pests like goats, that's a creature that feeds on a huge diversity of food. Bush tucker and flowers, berries and seeds, exotic shrubs and grasses. They'll even chew the bark off a tree. Now, once feral pests like goats take out the food source, then our endemic animals become extinct. And that is a major concern. This country is way too rugged. It's steep to be able to round up feral goats with dogs. And you can't trap them on the water because there's a river here. They can drink anywhere. So the best way to knock their numbers down is to shoot them. Now, SSAA members, they can be part of the solution and help control feral numbers in Australia. Just click on the SSAA website and go to Farmer Assist, and that gives you a chance to be part of the solution, to be a true environmentalist and help control feral numbers on outback farms.